psychotherapy at the University Department of the University of Göttingen in Germany. Today we are going to talk about anxiety disorders. In my 40 years of psychiatric practice, there were only a handful of people who came to me to be treated for the fear of dogs or insects.
짜장이냐, 짬뽕이냐, 찍먹이냐, 부먹이냐, 그리고 여기에 버금가는 난제가 하나 있으니 바로 딱복이냐, 물복이냐입니다. 오늘은 여름을 상징하는 또 하나의 과일, 복숭아의 역사에 대해 알아보겠습니다. 복숭아의 원산지는 중국의 황허와 양쯔강 유역으로 추정이 되는데 이미 4,000년 전 중국에서는 다양한 찍먹이냐, 부먹이냐, 그리고 여기에 버금가는 난제가 하나 있으니 바로 딱복이냐, 물복이냐입니다. 오늘은 여름을 상징하는 또 하나의 과일, 복숭아의 역사에 대해 알아보겠습니다. 신선히 먹는 과일로 여겨질 복숭아의 원산지는 중국의 황허와 양쯔강 유역으로 추정이 되는데 이미 4,000년 전 중국에서는 다양한 찍먹이냐, 부먹이냐, 그리고 여기에 버금가는 난제가 하나 있으니 바로 딱복이냐, 물복이냐입니다.
They can avoid the feared object or situation. On the other hand, there are people who have pathological anxiety, which we then call an anxiety disorder. So what kinds of anxiety disorders exist? However, the three anxiety disorders that are most frequently treated in clinical settings are panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, or social anxiety disorder. An example would be panic disorder. People with this condition have sudden anxiety attacks in harmless situations without any threat. Other people have social anxiety disorder, which is the exaggerated fear of being humiliated or criticized by other people. People with generalized anxiety disorder have unrealistic, exaggerated fears of all threats and dangers that could occur in everyday life. However, the border between realistic and unrealistic fear is not always clear. As everybody has anxiety from time to time, how can we differentiate between normal and pathological anxiety? People with anxiety disorders suffer from many restrictions in quality of life. They are overwhelmed by sudden panic attacks, have sleep problems, are restless and nervous and worry all the time. This has great impact on their daily life. Some cannot go to gatherings of people like parties, restaurants, or into churches. Others are simply not able to work. Some people with anxiety disorders have the tendency to drink too much alcohol or to take sedating drugs. Many people with severe anxiety disorders even commit suicide. Therefore, anxiety disorders have to be taken seriously. How prevalent are anxiety disorders? Among the mental disorders, the anxiety disorders are the most common ones. They are more common than depression, addiction, schizophrenia, and other mental disorders. According to epidemiological surveys, up to 15% of the general population suffer from an anxiety disorder once in their life. They are most common in adults between 30 and 50 years of age. We must ask the question, where is the point at which normal fears end and pathological fears begin? For example, many people are shy, but they don't have the feeling that they have to be treated for that. They think it's somehow normal that people are shy and others are self-confident. However, there are some people who have severe anxiety disorders, like panic disorder or generalized anxiety disorder or social anxiety disorders. But they are not aware that these disorders can be treated effectively. If you suffer from fears and you don't know, is this pathological or is this normal, you have to ask yourself the following questions. Do I have to think or ruminate over my fears more than 50% of my day? Does my anxiety have a relevant impact on my daily life? Or does my quality of life suffer because of my fears? For example, does my anxiety have an impact on my family, social, or occupational life? Do I try to fight my fears with alcohol or sedating drugs? How can you find if you have an anxiety disorder? There are some tests. One is called the GAD-7, which is a very short test that you can answer